All right. Sooner than anticipated. I just got a bit carried away with this op cam a little bit later last night and throughout the day on lunches and whatnot. So things that have transpired off cam. I mounted the rack for the 3.5-inch stuff. I found some blank cover plates. I put in a nice, and this is the only time I'm going to do this, I put a nice blank cover here. I put this LED together, so when you turn it on, it actually says, you can see it there. Let me get it out of the shade there. It says 66. That's a fixed number. There's the turbo button doesn't actually change the readout because of the. I had one that can do it here, but it's way too big. Like this, it wouldn't even fit in there. So yeah, I can't use that. So yeah, it's a fixed display. I also let it run throughout most of the day to charge up that lithium-ion battery. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that this doesn't have that much charge capacity. So if you let the computer off for a while, it's gonna lose its BIOS stuff. So I mean, for a normal computer, that's not really a big deal. You go into the BIOS and you put the settings back in, and there you go. Except that before we even do anything else, I'm going to explain to you what EISA is. It's a 32-bit successor to an ISA card, which I'm just randomly grabbed one from. Here's one. Right, it's a dual port game card. This is an 8-bit ISA slot, so card. So this goes into your regular ISA slot. Most of you guys probably already know what that is. But EISA is like too deep. If you go back to the first video, you can see the video card out on its side. You can see that it's the second row of pins, so it's 32-bit. It's still, I believe, at 8 megahertz, so I think VLB actually trumps it in terms of video performance. I did not put a VLB video card in here. I have one there, but it's broken. Kind of needs a recap or something. In any case, I just wanted to make it an EISA system, so it's got an EISA ultra-wide SCSI card and an EISA 1 meg compact type video card. So EISA is not like ISA, where you just slam something into a port and it'll work. I'm going to just connect these serial connectors while I'm talking. ASIN 1, ASIN 2. Yeah, so you have to actually program them in, and we're going to do that today. Tonight, you have to program them in, and if you decide, well, I don't want it to be here, I want it to be here, you have to reprogram it. You cannot just willy-nilly throw a card in there with the computer freaking out about it. It will give you a BIOS error. It'll say something like, card slot 01 invalid or something like that. It's annoying. So it's especially annoying that you have to redo this every time. However, on this diskette, I have everything I need, I believe, to set it up. Now, it's not that easy. Anyways, we'll go through the whole process. But for now, let's just physically put stuff in. We went through this last time. This is a IBM. What the hell is it? I don't even know. It's one of these. It's a 2 gig drive, DFHS. I looked it up, but I forgot already. I had to set all these jumpers up in the front here because it wouldn't auto spin. I had to force it to do something. There was another jumper I had to put. Man, plug and play? You think that was problematic? This is a SCSI EISA system. There was already, before this video was made, probably 5 or 6 hours of tooling around with this, and maybe a little bit more, like 2 or 3 researching all the stuff and getting all the. That's another thing. Getting all the EISA, configuration files, because the video card needs a separate one. The motherboard needs its own. So does the SCSI card. The SCSI card will not initialize before you set the configuration. So, yeah, if you lose the BIOS, and also there's a couple tricks in there, and I'm glad I'm recording this because I'm going to have a frame of reference after about what to do, because you have to set the trailing edge SCSI signal for it to pick up. It's a hot mess. I can see why the standard died and was quickly replaced by PCI, and that was it. This standard, I don't even know. I didn't research it before I turn this video camera on, but I think it only lasted a few years. High-end systems, servers use them a lot. IBM didn't even touch them. So, yeah, that'll be fun. And we're gonna clean this up a bit somehow. I'm gonna go get this is a 5 1/4. It's on loan from the Louvre. It's not on loan, but it's not mine. So it's basically, I'm just going to stick it in here as a placeholder to just get the cabling set. Thank you, furnace, for turning off. We're in the basement. Don't really need much cooling down here. So this is, I've decided I'm gonna keep this one for parts, because I have one, and also this weighs a lot. I mean, this thing's gonna be pretty heavy with all this old tech in there. So, all right, let me try to just eyeball this a bit. That cover plate's gonna have to come out. I'm a professional of manners. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna throw it down with one screw because it's not a permanent fixture. This is the customer that bought a 486 off of me, and he sent me this drive. And he said, make me another 46. So I'm in the process of doing that. I told him about this one and the previous one I had up here, but they're just too powerful for what he needs them to be. And way too complex. Like, I would not recommend this to anybody but a professional who knows exactly what they're doing. Otherwise, some gamer is going to buy it. First time the CMOS battery dies, I'll be like, you know what? Everything you need to know is in this video. So I'm also kind of just keeping a log of what it is that I'm doing. And we have enough power connectors for. Okay, what are we missing? The CD-ROM. Let's see if we can rearrange this like this. I'm also toying with the idea of putting a zip drive in here. The only problem with that is the only one that I have that works is a SCSI, and I kind of want to keep that just in case. So we'll see. But it has this extra connector for it, which also could be used for, I guess, a 5.5 or a CF adapter. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so that's got power. I think the cable's going to have to run. If I do this, yeah, it's going to have to be. Oh, wait, that's not going to work. Okay, for the time being, I'm going to leave this as A. What I'm talking about is the floppy drive order is set by the cable. If I put that up here, this becomes the 5 1/4 becomes, this becomes my boot drive, and that can raise its own problems. That's all right actually. And just leave it like that. Yes, and I can't really do anything from it because I don't have any DOS boot disks. So on that format. So that's going to stay like that for the time being. Of course, I went around this guy's cable. Yeah. Oh, also off cam, I tested this I/O controller. It works. I don't know about the IDE. It's not necessary in this computer, so that actually worked out. All right, and the other thing is we're going to need a SCSI cable. I don't know about this translucent thing. It's kind of cool, and it's a 4 device, 3 actually, 68 pin. Wide or ultra wide? I think it's just wide. Okay. I didn't really get to play with the stuff when I was a kid. Stuff was way expensive. And by the time I was old enough to be a tech, the stuff was obsolete. So I got good at SCSI in like the early 2000s, which I think I still ran a SCSI on. Yeah, I did on my P4. Okay. So what do we have? Power here, power here, power here, power here. Ribbon cable there. Okay. I didn't really do anything else. I took the modem out. I don't know. There was some weird conflict with the cache memory, and it was beeping at me. And I took the modem out. I took the sound card out and the modem. And the modem, if I don't put it back in, I don't care. All right. So let's set up. Now this is the important part. How we're gonna set up the actual computer itself. Oh, floppy is plugged in backwards. Let's see. LED was on immediately. Definitely gonna need that. Okay. So what do I have? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna fix that too. We got a DOS boot disk here. I don't even know what that was. That was an interesting noise. Okay. Okay, and put the DOS boot disk in. And it seems to remember that it has some configuration in it. So yeah, running it all day, charge that battery up. So that's good. What else we got here? Oh, this is not a new one, eh? Look, July 7th, 1991. Wow. All right, cool. So that we're booted into DOS. You're gonna go to C. You're gonna find nothing there because you're not. So what you need to do is put this special disk for the Hint Caesar chipset and the EISA configuration. I've only done this a handful of times, so if I screw up the first time, you know, what do you want me to do? So these CFG files, that's for the compact video card. That HIT 0001 is for the motherboard, and I think there's another one, CFG Adaptec. Yeah, okay, so I think you run CFG. Again, I've only done this a couple times, so we're doing it live. So yeah, that looks familiar. Okay, so this is the whole process. Oh, that's no good. Don't have a CRC error, otherwise this video will come to an end. Because then there's literally nothing for me to do. Okay, that worked. I have to clean this floppy, I think. It's giving me some hit or miss. All right, about EISA configuration, if you want to read about it, you can. I think you can just freehand run this on its own. Okay, so when I sell this computer, I will include this diskette because even if you save the information on the hard drive, you won't be able to get to the hard drive. So now it's reading EISA, then the NVRAM, no, not the NVRAM, non-volatile memory that's in there. It's pulling out what it's. All right, see, there it is. It's got, okay. Oh, it remembered that it was in different slots. Okay, so that memory wasn't completely lost. That's interesting. Okay, so it's running syntax checks on the configuration files. All right, so there it is. So slot 1 is going to be this one here. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you can, right there. Slot 1, empty. Slot 2 is the video card. Slot 3, this one here, is the... Okay. Yeah, so the first brown slot, that's empty, and it tells you that it's empty. Apparently it has 8 slots, or I guess this configuration utility supports... Well, that would make sense, because some of them were just EISA, so I guess this must be some sort of universal software. Anyways, yeah, this all looks good. So, press insert to add a board. No, we're good. Done, escape. Okay, so hang on. To move the selected board to a different slot. No, this is good. This is good. So, escape, I guess. Change configuration settings. This is important because this one, you have to do something with it. Edge. Okay, was it edge? Let me see what the options are. Level, or I think it was edge. Basically, this means where it gets the signal from, or what point it reads the signal. And I read on some forums that it has to be on edge for this particular board. Everything else looks okay. BIOS and device configuration. So this is how you actually get into the. When you press Control C or whatever it is, Control Escape, something like that. Normally, the BIOS will tell you. This overwrites that address and goes right to the ROM directly. So drives over a gig enabled. Don't need 2 drives. device configuration. Okay, this I'm going to leave for the time being because I think this all works. Well, I'm going to run some speed tests after. We're going to abandon all these changes. Utilities, okay, disk format, I don't want to do that because it's already been done. Okay, so let's try that. Save configuration. Okay, so storing configuration. So this theoretically should now just work. And there's also a cool option here. You can check the INF files for different types of jumpers. It's actually documented in software, which is kind of cool. So compact has no boards or switches jumpers. I think that's accurate. I think this one doesn't have any either. Yeah, this is a newer model of it. And okay. Connection statements. I'm not sure what that means. Then it tells you what slot they're in. Oh, cool. It even tells you like the length of the board, 193 millimeters. That's about 20 centimeters, yeah. 800 milliamps for the video card. That's neat. We have slot 3. Ah, the Adaptec takes a full amp, and it is 33 centimeters. I don't think that's accurate. There's not. The first one, what is it? It's 20, and then if the other one's 33, that's not 13 centimeters there. That's like 3. Anyways, don't know how accurate these things are. Or yeah, I mean, ISA, you don't get any of this kind of stuff. Exit. Do you really want to exit? Yes. Reboot the system. Okay, so now, really doesn't care about this. Now what should happen is it will reboot and initialize all these cards. Well, let's reset. We'll do a hard reset. I think that's what you're supposed to do. Something is vibrating this table. I think it's the hard drive. Okay. So now both cards should get picked up, and we have no more error or that weird noise. That's gone too. That's good. Now it should pick up the SCSI adapter, and that should in turn pick up stuff that's connected to it. There it is. Okay. Now are you going to find the hard drive? You did! There it is. IBM RISC. Something or other drive C mounted, and it found Nakamichi too. I also set the jumpers for the IDs. And it booted into Windows 98 apparently. Nice. So we have, yeah, we've got something. We've got that. Well, that's basically it. I think maybe that was well ahead of schedule. So I'm kind of in a hurry to just do this because I want to get my fuel tank arrived for my car. So I wanted to get that cleaned up before tomorrow. Actually, whatever. I'll do this off cam. Basically, I'm just going to move a bunch of games. All my CF stuff's upstairs. So also, I can check if that IDE adapter really does or does not work. Oh wait, the problem with that is it's going to pick that up as C and that as D, which doesn't matter because I can boot. Anyways, that's a problem for another video. Anyways, that'll be a short one today. So that's how you configure an EISA system thing, and it looked easy because whatever, just put a disk in there and run a couple things. But believe me, the first time I did this, it took like an hour before I even got anywhere with it, and I read everything in there because it was a really cool experience to get to I guess experience that 25 years later as it were. So yeah, I guess next up is just clean it up a little bit more. I think I'm gonna configure the sound card. Throw that modem back in and see what happens. Actually, let's just do that now. See if it freaks out. Isolate that right off the bat. Clean up the floppy, clean the heads with some alcohol swabs, because it's not a perfect floppy drive. Okay, so we don't need a boot disk anymore. This is going to get taped to the inside or something, and I'm going to make a copy of this, maybe 2 or 3 even. On we go. Oh, I can also check the hard drive LED light while I'm at it. As I did, kind of just plug that in here. Okay, yeah, that worked. Nice, so that's where it should be. Maybe one final thing. Plug in both floppies. And I'll run a quick COM test, LPT test, to make sure that that I/O card actually does work, at least semi-correctly. Okay, hang on. So this is working. That's the A. And that's upside down. It's always good. Oh, and another thing is I know the CD-ROM works, as in terms of I can get it to load a single drive, but this is a 5-disk changer, so I don't know how I have to configure that to get it to see all the drives. I don't know if I have to load MSCDEX for all of them or what. It's well, we'll see. It's part of the adventure, I suppose. And of course, this is backwards as well because I'm gonna just redo this cable later. Okay, we got both floppy drives plugged in. That stupid modem is in there. No lights are on. Do not lose this disk. That RAM count is slow. I think it's always been that way. There's 20 megs of RAM in this thing. So I have check it here, and I have some... Oh yes, I have to get into the BIOS, otherwise it'll tell me, what have you done with your diskettes? They are not as they should be. An SSI in here, and I got to check it on that, so run those real quick. Clean up while it boots. That was fabulous. Okay. So standard config. Yep, and that one will be 1.2 for now. Now that I have a booting drive, I can leave it. Yeah, and that's reflected in the post-test of the floppy. That's cool to see. This system would have been worth, I don't even know, tons of money back in the day. What is on the A drive? Ah, okay. That's the... I don't know what that is. Nothing super important. So now... Of course I took the disk out. Let's see what NSSI will tell us about this configuration. Oh, I also need to take this epoxy out with me. There's one of the hoses on the gas tank. It's a lead that's not fully flush. Anyways, I don't want any leaks. I want this card to be done correctly, so put that in my pocket right now. All right, so yeah, let's use it as a DX266 ISA and EISA. Looks like it's having some trouble with the discs, or at least it's trying to figure out what they are. And drive A, drive B. Okay, so yeah, everything looks good here. Not detected, no mouse, that's fine. What do we have? A serial, one parallel, one game. Is it a game port? Oh, I guess the video, the sound card has some. Yeah. All right, so it didn't pick up any configuration from the modem, which is fine. Whatever, stay in there. I don't care. And let's run a quick benchmark, see how quick this thing is. Right. So, okay, so it is DX40 right now, and if you push this on, it's significantly slower than the DX266. Interesting, because that was not the case this morning. What changed? I'm gonna have to go into BIOS and see if. Oh, I think I know. I think I know what happened to it. All right, that's fine. But yeah, this morning it was like right up there with it. The cache might be off or something weird like that. So maybe that modem is doing something. Let's test that actually. Take this shit out. And turn this back on. Alright, let's make some noise. Find my floppies. Oh, right, yes. Don't do that, please. The only other thing I recall changing is there was an LED stuck to that one. Okay, you know what? Let's see what it says. Just tell me the date was wrong. Okay, now let's do the benchmarks again. Wow, I don't know what the hell's going on. So the only thing that changed was this was here. And that just kept that light on. Did it get up now? That's weird. Okay, I don't know. We'll have to mess with that a little bit more. Yeah, but it might be something in the BIOS. Out of curiosity, I'm going to have a quick look. Because that is, if it was like the difference was here, shit, maybe that's what I saw. No, it wasn't. I saw it being close to that. These numbers were also higher. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to mess with it a bit. Going on the BIOS quickly. These keys don't work well. There we go. I did recall changing something in here too. Advanced chipset. I think, yeah, I changed this from 2 to 6 because it seemed appropriate. So I'm going to change that back to 6. And I think, yeah, I changed the cache to write through or write back. I can't remember which one was the better one and which this chip supported. So let's just set it back to how it was, and then I'll mess with those settings individually. Off cam, nobody wants to see that. It's long and annoying. The only other thing I want to do is get the concept tested. But yeah, again, I'll just do that off cam. I like how it initializes the CD-ROM. The CD-ROM. It's like it's going to transform into something. Okay. I love that we're booting off the C drive. It was, I wouldn't say effortless, but it was. Why don't I just be smart about this? No, don't do that. This case needs a cleaning. I don't even know what's on it. That's a nice case, man. Oh, I'm gonna miss this computer or this case. So many memories. Like I said, I had this case since I was like 17 or something, so it's over 20 years old. For me, having it, I suppose. Okay, that's going to be a lot faster doing that. But at least finally it's going to be into something. Because again, I've had this for like 22 years, 23 years, and it's somewhat gotten close to something that resembled the system that I used routinely. And then the hard drive in it died, so resetting CPU. What is this thing doing now? We'll give it one more shot, and then I'm going to do other things. I think I might have been missing a file or something. So we can find off the floppy. Ah, see? I don't know. Something happened in there. And now, yeah, because I remember these numbers being a lot higher. So, yeah, it's not exactly in line with a Intel DX260. It was pretty close, though. I mean, it was down here before, so I don't know. I'll have to look into what those settings mean. Turn turbo off. Yeah, see, even the turbo was closer to the DX3. All right, well, good thing I ran a baseline on that, because, yes, old BIOS settings were very unhelpful, and the help, if existed, was basically press F1 for help. Options on or off. It's like, yay, thank you for that. That was super useful. I know I can turn it on or off. Okay, that'll be it for now. I'll see you on the next one.